this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, today I have a message for young Black Americans who encounter Africans and other Black immigrants in your daily walk or in your travels or just randomly. People who come to you trying to corner you about where you're from. And so I'm going to entitle this video, Don't Be Ashamed to Say You're from New Jersey. This whole idea about where are you from. When you tell them that you're from the United States, and then they say, well, where are you really from? And you tell them you're from New Jersey, that's where you're from. You see, some of them are trying to make this whole thing about I know where I'm from into a thing. This young lady that went viral for calling candy yams slave food and distorted her face in a very ugly way, went on a whole diatribe about, I'm not a slave. I've never been a slave. My grandfather was a slave. My great-great-grandfather was a slave. And they go through that thing with Black Americans. I know where I'm from. I know where my grandfather's from. I know where my great-grandfather's from. Well, so do you. You know where your parents are from, where your grandparents are from, where your great-grandparents are from, and all the way back to whatever plantation they worked on as enslaved people. It would be great if we could trace our lineage all the way back to the Stone Age, but we can't. The golden rule of Black Americans: do not look outside yourself or your ethnic group for validation. There is a reason that we were given this new identity. I don't know the complete reason. We built a whole civilization, and that's quite an accomplishment. Therefore, you don't owe anybody a lineage discussion about some place you don't know anything about, which is Africa. That's not your home. Your ancestral home is wherever your parents tell you your ancestral home is, not what Africans say. Africans need to be concerned about their own lineage, about their own country, and whatever they can do to make their countries livable so they don't have to run all over the world looking for somewhere to stay. That's what they need to be concerned about. What your lineage is, where you're from, your ancestral home is no concern of theirs. You do not owe them that conversation. This is another place where we've dropped the ball. Black Americans did not prepare their children for this discussion with Black immigrants because it's not relevant. That's why your parents didn't make a big deal out of it. We don't know where we came from. If it was important, we would know where we came from in Africa. Stop letting them make you feel like you're missing something. You're not missing anything. They're the ones that's missing something, because if they weren't, they wouldn't be running all over the world questioning somebody else about their lineage when they say they are proud of where they're from, but they won't live there. I have much more respect for Africans who stay on the continent and work with their governments to the best of their ability to make their countries better and to make their countries what they want their countries to be, as opposed to running all over the world looking for somewhere to live in somebody else's country and then trying to make it seem like it's important that they know where they came from. That's not important to you. That's important to them. And here's another thing. Many of the Africans who migrate to the United States start calling themselves African Americans. Now that's what we have been calling ourselves. African Americans are descendants of the transatlantic slave trade. An African American is not somebody who flew here on a plane. Yet and still, they start calling themselves African Americans. Now why would they be doing that if they know they came from Nigeria or Cameroon or wherever they came from? Why are you calling yourself an African American? An African American is an American. We've been away from that continent for 400 or 500 years. And some Black Americans, especially the followers of Tariq Nasheed, they circumvent that question by saying, I'm a foundational Black American. My family was already here. They were never in Africa to start with. So that shuts that conversation down for some. But for those who don't want to say that, like in my family, I know that a part of my family came from Africa. My ancestral home is Alabama. My father's ancestral home is Mississippi. And my mother's ancestral home is Alabama. That's all the conversation that I need to have with anybody about where I'm from. I don't owe you anything more than that. And if you're from Virginia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, or Texas, that's your ancestral home. You don't owe anybody anything deeper than that. You don't need to take a DNA test to prove to somebody where you're from. You take a DNA test if you want to, but it's not going to change anything. It is not going to change anything. And these Africans, they're using this as a form of bullying. Oh, you don't know where you're from. Oh, I know where I'm from. Well, how come you are from there? Why not? Why aren't you there? Why are you here? What are you doing here? Would be my question. So I really think that this is something that Black Americans need to get in their heads. That I don't owe you that conversation, and if they keep pressuring you, because that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to make you feel like they have something that you don't have. Well, you still have something that they don't have. And that's stability in your homeland, that you don't have to go running all over the world. Some Black Americans are doing it because they want to, but that's not something they have to do. Because we have it better here than they have it there. And many of the Black Americans who go running over there come running right back here. And I really believe that Black Americans, especially young Black Americans, because old Black Americans like me don't care what they say or think. Because I owe you no explanation. And I'm not going to let you waste my time trying to make me think that I need something that you have when you don't even appreciate it. Because if you did, you would stay your ass in your country. That's what you would do if you thought something about it. You wouldn't be over here. So that is what I wanted to say in this rant. Stop letting these Africans bully you. Stop letting them make you think, oh, I'm missing something. No, you're not. How could you be missing something by not knowing that you're from some country or some area that didn't even exist when our ancestors were over there? Those countries that they have carved up now, those 54 countries, were done after our ancestors left that continent. The Europeans went over there and carved up that continent and renamed those areas that had had names for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. Renamed those countries and then colonized those countries, which is to say they took over the country, their natural and mineral resources for themselves. I was having a conversation on Twitter with a Nigerian man, and we were having a pleasant conversation. We were tweeting back and forth, and I said something about Nigeria, and he tweeted back, there is no such thing as Nigeria. Well, I was appalled, and so I, as good as I felt, went and found a map and attached a map to my tweet. And he attached a map right back to me. And the country was divided into 3 parts. I think it was Oyo, Edo, and Ife. I believe those were the 3 areas. This is not the map he sent, but this is the closest I could find. But there were 3 areas, and he said, these are our countries. Each one of them was their own independent nation. They had their own government, their own language, and their own culture. He said the Europeans came in here and tried to unite all of these areas and make it into the country that they call Nigeria. That was not even the name of the country when our ancestors were there. I doubt if all of these Nigerians who claim they're so proud of Nigeria, I would not be afraid to say that they don't even know that. So my suggestion is to stop giving them that gotcha moment, because it's just a flex. Or another alternative is to develop your own line of questioning. Where are you from? I'm from Nigeria. Well, what are you doing here? Well, I came here to go to school. Well, why didn't you go to school in Nigeria? Now that's a question. What are you doing here going to school? Or I came here to get a job. Why can't you get a job in Nigeria? See, that you can develop your own line of questioning. You know, what are you doing to build up your country so you don't all have to flee? And not only are they running away from their own country, but apparently they don't know how to act in other people's country. Every time you look around, Nigerians are getting kicked out of somebody's country. Most recently, India. They kicked all of them out. Women, children, everybody. So that would be a question. Why are y'all always getting kicked out of other people's country? Because most of this questioning and this where you from and all of that, it's going to come from Nigerians or other West Africans. There are other Africans who jump on the bandwagon because they think that's going to do something to make you look bad. And that's what they're trying to do. And that's what you don't owe them, because why? Why are we having this conversation? Why do you care where I'm from? I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from Michigan. Okay? That's where I'm from. Now, I don't owe you any more than that. But you develop your own line of questioning. Question them about why they're out of their country that they claim they're so proud of. Nobody sent for them. And they'll cross hell on a spider's web trying to get over here. But they're so proud of their African country. And as I said before, other Africans will latch on to that and start doing that as a gotcha moment to Black Americans. And I think they're trying to show they're superior in some way. But most of this questioning about where you from, I ask you where you from and you tell me what state, that's where you're from. You're from a state in the United States. Most of it is going to come from Nigerians and other West Africans. But if East Africans and the rest of them think that they're going to get one off on you or try to do a gotcha moment on you, they'll start doing it too. This is why you need to shut it down before it gets started. I'm from New Jersey. Thank you very much. End of discussion. And I really feel very strongly about this because this has been going on, and they come over here with all these stereotypes in their head, or come over here trying to show that they are better or something. We don't really sure what this is all about. But you have to learn to do what we call it in America: stand your ground. Stand your ground. And so you don't owe anybody that conversation because they're not superior, and you're just trying to be friends with them, because I've had this experience myself. You're just trying to be friends, trying to have friendly conversation, but they want to get it across to you that they know where they came from. They came from Africa. But I think that Black Americans really have to be ready for these Africans, mostly Africans. And I'll just say this about Jamaicans, because I've seen Jamaicans try to get in on this conversation with as much ignorance as they can possibly muster, saying they know where they came from. They came from Jamaica. Okay? So that means that somebody is not doing a good enough job of educating people. Because Jamaicans came through the transatlantic slave trade. That's how you got to Jamaica. At least Black Americans know we came from Africa. Some of them don't know that their family members got to Jamaica the same way we got to the United States. Everybody in the Caribbean of African descent, Latin America, and South America came from Africa in slave ships. Finally, Black American descendants of slavery have a wonderful repertoire of accomplishments. We may not have accomplished all of these things if we had stayed in Africa. This was our journey. We were supposed to come out of Africa, not stay in Africa. The ones who were supposed to stay there stayed, and the ones who were supposed to come out came out. And we have receipts to show what we have done since we've been here. So there's really no reason to let anybody pull any kind of gotcha moment on Black Americans. So the next time somebody asks you where you're from, just tell them, I'm from the United States of America. Now, where are you really from? I'm really from Alabama. Okay? And the end. Okay, y'all. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.